right, welcome in everyone. Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you right at 10 o'clock, Friday, July 17th. Not a whole lot going on. We got a couple of flash flood warnings, had a severe thunderstorm warning just expire, but figured I'd hop on here, talk about what's going on tonight, talk about what could happen tomorrow. Talk about the overall pattern and test out some new features I've been developing today. So let us know in the comments where you're joining us from this evening. Be sure to hit that like and that share button. Let folks know we're on here talking a little weather. And it's not just going to be about tonight. We're also going to cover tomorrow evening, because I honestly think tomorrow evening may be a little bit more significant severe weather-wise. I don't think it's going to be bad, but we may have a little bit more heavy rain to deal with tomorrow. Tiffany, just some heavy rain in Corbin tonight. Nothing severe, but we do have some heavy rain rolling in. We got Radar Omega pulled up right now. We'll go ahead and put it into motion. Since you asked about Corbin, there you are down in Corbin. Slow moving line of thunderstorms off to our west. Now, I think a lot of that may dissipate before it pushes eastward, but we're going to have to watch. And you can see it is flood advisory city out there with a flash flood warning back down to our southwest. That does include portions of Cumberland and Monroe County until 11:45 Central Time. Duffield, Virginia. Hey, Mark. Duffield should be pretty quiet tonight. Maybe a little bit of rain. Nothing too major down there. Let me know where else you're watching from. I see we got people joining us now on YouTube, on Facebook. We are also live on TikTok. I'm getting the TikTok monitor pulled up right now. So if you have questions there, be sure to post them there, and I will try to answer your questions. Also, forgive me, I'm trying to get this shared out on social media, let folks know we are live. So, yeah, those storms definitely packed a little bit of a punch today. A lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain. And that's going to be the case for the next couple of days, especially the next day or two. Fisher, small chance of some heavy rain tonight. It's really going to depend on how this line just off to your west holds together. It's kind of in a weird storm movement right now. Let me zoom the radar out a little bit. Because we don't have like a real big driving force firing off these showers. It's not like we have a big front or a big area of low pressure coming into Kentucky right now. And these storms, because of that, they're not moving a whole lot. You don't have like a big jet streak pushing it around, kind of shoving it around. So they're just kind of meandering, and that's not good. That can lead to some torrential rainfall rates. That we'll swap over to the Doppler radar site in Louisville in just a second and take a look at how much rain is falling inside some of these storms. So here we go. This is the Doppler radar from Louisville. You can slice through some of these storms that have dropped some pretty heavy rain down near Lake Cumberland. About 2.5 inches, up close to 3 inches there, between Marylebone and Tompkinsville. Also near Columbia, 2 to 3 inches. Same story up near Lebanon and Campbellsville. So they ain't messing around. Oh, whoops. Rodney joining us from Pikeville tonight. Rodney, thank you very much. Carrie Crank asking about Bethany. Well, we can pull that up. That's one of the great things about the software I use, both Aguacera Weather, which is what you're seeing right now, and Radar Omega, the other product I pull up, can zoom in on the town. Bethany is nice and dry right now. Maybe a few storms overnight. Better chances of rain tomorrow night, Carrie. You can see the heaviest of the action right now down near Lebanon, Campbellsville, Columbia. You can see I've got the warnings over to my right or left side of your screen. Spent some time working on overlays tonight. And also, you'll notice above me, we've got real-time cameras from the Kentucky Traffic Network. They're still images, but they do refresh pretty frequently, and they will automatically go to the most active areas of weather in Kentucky. So that's I'm really excited about that. So we'll be able to show you real time those cameras above me as we get pictures in from these storms. So if we've got a traffic camera near it, well, by golly, we'll look at it. Yeah, I don't think with this round coming in the night, Carrie, you guys got to worry about anything severe out there. Tomorrow may be a different story, but right now, this a ton of lightning. This one of the cool things about Aguacera, and you guys can see this up here on the top of your screen. We can show how much lightning has happened within the last half hour in the area in the map box. 800 or 979 strikes of lightning within the last half hour. So that's a lot of lightning. That's definitely an indicator that these storms are healthy. A new flood advisory just came out with that cell. Crystal Lynn joining us from Harlan. Thanks for joining us. So we've got about 30 people on between YouTube and Facebook. Let's see over on TikTok. Anybody joining us on TikTok, let us know where you're watching from tonight. Eminence got 4 inches today. Angela just shared with us over on TikTok. Harley said they're watching from Wayne County. Brian over in Lexington. JV Combs over in Hazard. So thank you guys so much for joining us over on TikTok. So we are live on all 3 channels. No tornadic issues tonight, Carrie. That's some good news. We can bring up the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Bring up today's tornado. Oh, let me turn that off. So nothing today, tomorrow, nothing in our neck of the woods. There is a bit of a tornado risk up to the northeast tomorrow. Our big threat tomorrow. Let me turn that tornado risk off. Hang on 1 second. Our big risk tomorrow is the wind, and it's not too bad of a risk. 5% damaging wind risk for most of Kentucky. Northern Kentucky has a 15% for damaging winds. Brandy, London's looking okay tonight. Could deal with some heavy rain and some gusty winds tomorrow. We're going to talk about that in just a second. We can also look at tomorrow's excessive rain outlook for Kentucky. Best chance of flash flooding, and it's only a marginal risk, a 5% chance, far eastern Kentucky. Hey, my pleasure. Always happy to help. Harley on TikTok saying the lightning is crazy there right now. Bobby says, hey Shane, what up? Got some new toys we're playing with, some new traffic cameras, new advisories. Been working on the overlays. Crystal Lynn asking, is going to be bad around Harlan on Sunday. Got a lake trip planned. Okay, Crystal. Well, we can put the future radar up here for you and show you how things may look. So give me just 1 second. I'll switch some graphics around here on the fly. So here's the future radar from the HRRR model. That's the high resolution rapid refresh. That is my favorite weather model for short-term forecasting. Teresa McKinney joining us from Floyd County. Josh Scott Little from Rockcastle. Rockcastle may get a little bit of heavy rain tonight, but it looks like the worst of it's going west of you right now. Floyd County should be okay tonight. So here's future radar. Here we go, 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's when we'll likely start to see the first round of storms pop up tomorrow after what is going on right now dies down. Everything should die down tonight. Tomorrow, as we begin to heat back up, what's going to happen is all that rain that's falling right now is cooling off the air in a few spots. In fact, let me flip back over to the current temperatures. So like at one point today, near Covington was at 90 degrees. And in London, we were at 79. So this rain that's falling right now is cooling off the atmosphere. It's laying down what we call outflow boundaries. Think of them as little baby cold fronts, a couple miles long instead of hundreds of miles long like a normal cold front. So when these outflow boundaries run into hot, humid air during the heating of the day, they can trigger off thunderstorms because you have that cold air sliding under warmer air, causes the air to lift, and it can become a triggering mechanism for thunderstorms. That is what I'm watching for tomorrow. I think the rain tonight will trigger some outflow boundaries tomorrow. That will cause these thunderstorms to develop sometime either late morning or early afternoon. That'll be the first round of heavy rain tomorrow. That will be mainly in eastern Kentucky and central Kentucky. Western Kentucky, you may get a rogue shower or two tomorrow, but I don't think you'll see a lot early. Now, later in the day, most everybody becomes at least fair game for a few thunderstorms. And then tomorrow night during the overnight, watch what happens from the north. We get a very potent line of storms developing. Almost like a derecho style setup. I don't think it'll be quite that intense, hopefully. But a very long squall line of thunderstorms diving north to south. That is a good setup for us to get some really strong wind tomorrow night. Now, as long as we don't heat up too bad during the day, that may limit it some. And it looks like it will be dying down as it moves into Kentucky. But northern Kentucky, it may get a little windy and a little stormy right around sunset tomorrow through about midnight. And then those storms continue to push southward into southeastern Kentucky early Sunday morning. Hopefully by the time most of us are heading out to church, it should be dry. Hopefully we can get those storms on out of here. Then Sunday afternoon, because we've got more outflow boundaries and a cold front coming in from the north, more thunderstorms going to fire off. And that leads us into a very active Sunday. Scattered storms second half of the day, especially in southern Kentucky. Monday mostly dry. Gets hot and humid again on Tuesday before our next front rolls in. That front going to pack some cooler air and some lower humidity. We're actually going to have a bona fide cold front. It's going to drop the dew points into the 60s. We're going to wring all that moisture out. Watch out Tuesday into Wednesday because of that. Tuesday to Wednesday is on my radar already next week. If y'all got questions, post them in the comments. I'm going to switch back over to the live radar as we answer some questions. Pop up the old TikTok. We'll start there. Bobby asking, do I only look at Kentucky? I'm predominantly a Kentucky meteorologist, Bobby. I'm from Kentucky. I've lived in Kentucky most of my life. I've practiced in Kentucky. I don't mind looking at other spots, but when the weather is active in Kentucky, I tend to focus on Kentucky. Lone Wolf on YouTube joining us from Estill County. Thank you. What's your thoughts on the thing in the Gulf? Because I'm in Houston and I'm a little bit worried. Well, you're not actually too far from my sister down in Lake Jackson. So give me 1 second. We can pull up how things are going to look over towards Houston here in the next day or so. Give me just 1 moment. Which model are we going to pull? We'll pull that one. Alright, let me swap over. Jamie, we're looking at some heavy rain and thunderstorms possibly tomorrow in Laurel County. Especially tomorrow night into Sunday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, another round rolls in. So keeping an eye out for some flash flooding. So that thing in the Gulf may try to spin up. This is the rapid refresh forecast system. Let me switch to one of the hurricane models. Well, actually, let me switch to the European model. It kind of tends to do the best with. The European's not as aggressive on it. We'll check the GFS. We'll take a look at all the models real quick for that little tropical system in the Gulf. Here's the GFS. It's not really going too aggressive on it. How about the Canadian? What's Canada know about hurricanes, eh? It's not as aggressive. So the synoptic models, the long-range synoptic models, are not super enthused about it. Obviously, the rapid refresh was. We'll take a look at a couple of the others. See what the old NAM is saying. It's trying to spin something up down in the Gulf. We'll have to watch that close. So the mesoscale models are maybe picking up on something the synoptic models are struggling with. That is, and I will go ahead and be the first to admit, I am not a tropical meteorology specialist. I don't live near the beach. But it is very interesting to me that the tropical models, or at least the high-res mesoscale models, the small-scale models, are trying to spin something up. Bears watching for sure. We can pop the National Hurricane Center outlook up here. It is showing a 30% chance of tropical development in this area within the next week. For very personal reasons, I'm hoping it doesn't do that. Or at least it stays out of the Gulf. I'd just prefer not to see anything tropical here in the next couple of days. So, Bobby, we'll have to keep an eye on it. It could turn into something. We'll have to wait and see about that. But thank you so much for joining us over on TikTok. All right, we'll get back up to Kentucky for my audience up there. We'll turn the hurricane models off. Flip back over to the current radar. So right now in Kentucky, the heaviest of the actions definitely in south central Kentucky. Got a pretty good thunderstorm right now going on from Columbia back up to Campbellsville, up to Lebanon. Quite a bit of lightning. The lightning is increasing with these storms, so they've still got a lot of juice to work with. Also got a pretty good little thunderstorm right now firing up near Shepherdsville, just to the south of Louisville. And some rain in the Lexington metro right now. Go back out to the state picture. And we got flash flood warnings on either side of the state, to the south and to the north. So let us know where you're joining from. Any questions you have about the weather, we'll probably go for about another 10 minutes or so. If you haven't followed me on X, S. Smith Weather, or on Facebook, Meteorologist Shane Smith, I've got real-time warnings going for the entire state of Kentucky now. So we also upgraded the warning system today. The entire state of Kentucky now covered by my page for real-time warning. So anytime a weather warning is issued in the state of Kentucky, you will get that warning. And if you guys appreciate that, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. It does cost a little bit to make that service work, but I'm happy to share weather information with y'all. It's my passion. One of them. Love teaching kids about media, love making media. I'm making media right now from the comfort of my own home. So one of the cool things with this new camera system I worked on today is we can take any of those cameras full screen. So there's Pine Mountain right now, US 119. So, and we'll work on building out that camera system. I'm going to try to build that out to where we can add some more cameras to that. So let me know if you guys like that. Also, let me know what you think about the new warnings over there on the bottom, if you like how those are laid out. Those kind of scroll through as they come in. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is Meteorologist Shane Smith. It is about 10:26 on Friday, July 17th. We're tracking some heavy rain rolling across portions of Kentucky as we speak, and that is causing a little bit of flash flooding in southern Kentucky. We do have a flash flood warning down into Monroe and Cumberland counties. That's going to go until 12:45 Eastern, 11:45 Central Time. We've seen quite a bit of rain falling from these storms. Decent little cell right now on top of Monticello. Pretty heavy rain on top of Columbia, heading up towards Campbellsville, Raywick, and Lebanon. Springfield, heaviest about to move in towards your neck of the woods. Some light to moderate showers right now in Lexington, Nicholasville, and Salviza. Shepherdsville, you're seeing a pretty good storm right now. From there up to Hillview. A little bit of light rain up towards Owenton. And we do have a flash flood warning just across the O River from Covington into the greater Cincinnati area. But that will be expiring at 3:30. And they actually have observed flash flooding with some of that, some of those warnings. So if you're heading up into northern Kentucky over the next few hours, just know may have some flash flooding in the greater Cincinnati area. Also, don't want to forget about my friends over in western Kentucky. We do have a heat advisory that's going to go until Saturday at 7 o'clock. Heat indices in western Kentucky tomorrow, likely going to be running 100 to 105 again. So very hot weather out there. Be sure to take it easy, hydrate, take plenty of breaks to go in, cool off in the AC. Because that kind of heat can lead to heat exhaustion and heat-related illnesses very quickly. Popping around, checking on the comments. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Lone Wolf on YouTube asked, does mountainous areas have any effect on storms? Absolutely. Topography and orographic conditions can play a huge factor into the weather in mountains. And in fact, I will say that's part of what makes forecasting for eastern Kentucky especially challenging, because as the wind flows over the mountain, different things happen. So in the wintertime, I can show you something that happens a lot. Let me swap sources real quick. So in the wintertime, a lot of the time, we will get a pretty stout wind coming off the Great Lakes. Well, most of our mountains, and I'm going to draw them in orange and kind of make them rounded like that. Most of our mountains in southeastern Kentucky are oriented southwest to northeast. So as that wind comes in off the Great Lakes, that air lifts and ramps up the mountains as the elevation increases from the plateau up around Lexington into the mountains of eastern Kentucky. In some cases, we go up in elevation about 3,000 or 4,000 feet in just a couple hundred miles. So as that air lifts and hits those mountains and is mechanically forced upwards, it can cause precipitation to develop on the front range of the mountains. It's what we call upslope flow and upslope precipitation, or orographic lift. A couple different terms for that. So that's one of the big things you can get. But the opposite can also happen. So if we get a wind from the southeast coming into southeastern Kentucky, that air is sinking air. Sinking air is more stable air. It is drier air. You dry the air out as you push it downwards. That can actually cause precipitation to dissipate, especially in the wintertime, if we get a southeast wind. So the mountains play real big tricks on the weather, Lone Wolf. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Did have a report of flooding up into Montgomery County earlier the day around 5:40 near Lucky Stop. NWS employee reported 2 to 3 inches of water over US 460. Also, looks like there was a wind damage report, but that has mysteriously disappeared. Tina Lamb asking about Bell County. Bell County tonight should be mainly dry for a while. We'll flip back over to the future radar. So not a whole lot in Bell County tonight. Tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, y'all may get a few showers and thunderstorms down that way. As we get the heating of the day going, those outflow boundaries that we were talking about earlier, that cold air left over or cooler air left over from today's rain triggers new storms. You'll get another chance of storms down in Bell County tomorrow evening, just some passing thunderstorms. And then probably your best chance of rain is actually going to be Sunday early morning, probably right before sunrise, going to about 7 or 8 o'clock, as we do get a bit of a squall line that moves through across the state early on Sunday morning. None of that looks particularly severe at this time, but some heavy rain, some intense lightning, some gusty winds, all possible with that down in Bell County over the next 48 hours, Tina. So hope that answered your question. So we are live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Share those streams, hit those like buttons, hit those subscribe buttons. Every like and share helps us out. And we're always happy to talk a little weather here in Kentucky. My pleasure, Tina. All right. So thankfully, not much in the way of severe weather tonight here in Kentucky. Some heavy rain ongoing. We will be watching this area. Where's my drawer tool? There we go. In here for the next couple of hours for the potential of more flash flooding. That's my biggest concern at this point. One thing, I'm going to switch sources real quick, y'all. Take a look at something and see if I can pull something up on the future radar. Ah, yes, cool. Get something together real quick like. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm having to build something on the fly real quick. We're going to take a look at the amount of moisture available to the storms tomorrow, because that's kind of important. All right, let me. All right, so what we're showing here, this is called precipitable water. So this is like how much rain would wring out of the atmosphere in an hour if you took all the moisture available and wrung it out. And anytime you get precipitable water over 2 inches, that's some pretty heavy stuff. That's a good indicator you're going to have heavy rain. So there's quite a bit of water in the atmosphere all the way up until Sunday, until that drier air finally starts getting in here on Monday. You'll notice how those precipitable water values stop dropping. That's a good indicator that any thunderstorm that goes up the next day or two can drop upwards of 2 inches of rain, maybe 3 inches of rain in an hour. Austin, I do think it will rain in Pikeville tomorrow. Alright guys, any final questions as we wrap it up and land the plane this evening? Just wanted to jump on here, wanted to test out some of the new tools I was working on today. See how they all work before the weather gets too crazy. Alright, well, we'll give one last call for questions. So just to recap, heavy rain tonight in portions of south central Kentucky. That should start to dissipate here in the next hour or two, hopefully, but that could cause some flash flooding issues around Columbia, Liberty, Campbellsville. That's something we're going to watch very closely over the next couple of hours. We'll get more showers and storms developing in eastern Kentucky tomorrow. You can see those here. And then tomorrow night we get that squall line coming from north to south. That moves out Sunday morning. More storms develop in central and southern Kentucky Sunday evening. And then a quick final look at that extended forecast where your weekend is always in view. We got some drier and cooler weather heading our way towards the middle to end of next week. But before we get there, looks like another good chance of thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday. Some of those may be on the strong to severe side. I will be watching that chance closely. Alright friends, well that's going to do it for me. If you have enjoyed the coverage, hit that like button, hit that share button, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. If you want to send stars or a super chat, greatly appreciated. All support for the channel is very much appreciated. And I will maybe be live tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But I'll have updates throughout the day. And make sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter for real-time weather warnings in Kentucky. Hit that subscribe or like button or follow button and turn on notifications, and you will get notified anytime there is a new weather warning in the Bluegrass. I am Meteorologist Shane Smith. Take care. Stay weather aware. I will see you guys next time.